My biggest achievement in leadership was when I was walking along a production line talking to one of the operators, and he actually told me what the mission and the strategy of the company was. At that point I knew I'd really got the message across.
I suppose what I'm most proud of is having taken a risk with people a few times in my career and have seen that working out well. And I think back that on several occasions in my career, people took a risk and gave me the opportunity. So I think what I feel happiest about is, I hope, being able to do that in turn for people who are now building their careers.
It's an easy one, shaping a team and a sustainable tourist board for Kent, taking it from not a lot to a lot, and it becoming a national model that's respected and regarded across the UK as something that does not require enormous amounts of public sector investment and has built its business around delivering firmly to the door of its stakeholders.
My biggest achievement in leadership over the last 20 years is to have kept true to my values of being positive, fair and courageous. That's what I'm most proud of.
My biggest achievement was setting up a company and taking it to huge success, where we had events all around this country and the world. But my biggest learning from that was knowing when to go. And I reflect on that now that I'm at Windsor Leadership. I hear all the leaders around us, and I think you need to know when is the right time to leave, and I left at the right time, so that was a huge achievement.
The thing I'm most proud of that I've achieved in leadership was when we went through a big change to the HR function that I lead. And it was a difficult time, so we needed to save costs, but I also wanted to make it a more effective HR function, and one where people's careers were better managed and people had more opportunity. And I think the thing I'm most proud of is that whilst I set the why we needed to do it, the whole team was involved in how we made the change, and we did it quickly, and it was successful in a number of ways.
Without doubt, bringing up 3 wonderful children. They're all now in their mid to early 20s, and it's a fantastic satisfaction to see 3 autonomous, self-coping, happy adults going out into the world and embracing it for their own. How much part you have in that, you don't know, but you've got to assume you had some part, and that's the thing that brings me the most satisfaction.
I think one of the things I'll look back on and say I really enjoyed doing was bringing together the leaders of different faiths, both in Auckland, where I set up the Interfaith Council, and in Sydney, where I joined Interfaith Initiatives, and getting people who might naturally be seen as in antipathy or competition with each other to share platforms on areas of common interest, particularly coming together in Australia on organ donation and the importance of coming together as religious leaders, religious communities in favour of the wider Australian picture.
I think my biggest achievement in leadership over the last 20 years was when we made a real difference to people suffering from addiction. Like most charity sectors, there are so many charities operating in this area. And I knew that unless we were going to make a real difference to the lives of the people who were really struggling, we needed to talk with one voice. So with 2 other charity chief execs, I effectively led the first 3-way merger of any addiction charity within the sector. And I'm so proud of that accomplishment because I know we've helped millions of people struggling and suffering.
My biggest achievement in leadership over the last 20 years is when I've worked with teams of people who have skills and talents, and we together have effected huge changes. And for me, that has been about changing state pension legislation, introducing new age discrimination laws, and providing fantastic services and support for people. So it's really about when you work with others with a big goal in mind, and you have the power, the patience and the determination to make big changes to people's lives.
My biggest achievement in the last 20 years is getting the job that I have got now. I am the top of an organisation. Even though I'm still a GP, I sit at the top of an organisation that has a budget of £600 million. We're responsible for buying health services for over 500,000 people. And thinking about what my job actually means, I think it is an immense achievement that at times I can't really believe that has actually happened to me. So I think reaching a position of such influence and opportunity for doing good for others, it has been a wonderful achievement.